Hello. Hey, it's Jason Woodworth-Hou. You probably don't recognize me that much anymore with the haircut and the beard gone, but I did it all just to get ready for this presentation. I'm here to talk to you about the JavaScript projects that I worked on. They are specific to being used in an improvisation comedy kind of format. So all of the choices that I made in coding were to deal with that live aspect and the ability for audience members to use these products that would be intuitive and helpful to the building of a performance in an improvisation based show. So we'll get started and I'll show you what I came up with. Kevin McAllister orders a pizza, and the idea behind this app would be that an audience member would hold this as a computer right now, but later maybe a phone as well. And there would be a scene that would be happening in front of them where actors are trying to break into their home. And just like the character in Home Alone, Kevin McAllister is trying to make sure that nobody knows that he is a child left home alone. So we have this whole series of buttons that can be pushed and that can answer to the person that is behind the door. For example, here.
I feel the need for speed.
My mom always said,
Say hello to my little friend.
"You filthy animal."
He's alive. I love you.
All right, and so those are all famous movie scenes. Eventually down the road, I do want to make sure that I put the specific scene on the television as well. But I was pretty happy with this one. So for the next one we have is Picture This, and we'll go into the link, the website. It doesn't look like much, but if you push your mouse and start just drawing, you can create any sort of picture that you would like. I really like this as a program that the audience member can interact with the actors with, because they could build, if they wanted to, an environment and and change some things up for the actors to, it's maybe that they were playing in a rainy day and then all of a sudden they have the sun come out and you could draw that in. Or you could just play a nice round of Pictionary. And all you need to do in order to restart things is just to do your refresh, and that's the program that you have here. There are a few changes that you can read about in the reflections, but this is a good display of what this can do. Okay, now check this out. We have Dance Like Kevin Bacon. And I do like this one, the idea or the potential a lot for doing all sorts of dance-based programs. An audience member would be in charge of playing the video for this routine from Footloose that did this Kevin Bacon dance, famous Kevin Bacon dance routine. And what I really like about it, turn it down just a little bit, is that you can fast forward things to get to moments that are really important. You can either do them fast forward like this, or I can go fast forward just by hitting this 25 seconds, in the future here. So then, once I'm to a part where he's dancing, I can then slow it way down and watch. Let's get to a dancing part, and watch exactly what his moves are. And that way, when somebody's watching this on stage and is trying to replicate the song, or the dance, you can do that in slow motion, or you can turn down the volume too, especially in moments like that where you don't really want to hear the volume, but you want to see it's Kevin Bacon's sweet moves. So this is Dance Like Kevin Bacon. There are two more programs that I did do. One of them is for video effects, and another is for real-time subtitles. So if you're interested in those, I am quite proud of those as well, but there just is not enough time in the length of this presentation to discuss those. So what I learned, a massive amount, specifically JavaScripting. I definitely have to spend a bit more time with JavaScripting in order to get a handle on what is possible. But what I really like is the skills that it afforded me to be able to create from scratch products that could be used for live performance. We don't talk about that much in our class because so many people are not necessarily that interested in live performance, but I definitely am, and I love the idea that I could take a technology that an audience member brings with them i.e. their phones, and be able to use that as a performance device in a live performance. So thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed what you saw. Oh, you're still here? Okay, since you stuck around, I'll show you the 2 other clips that I made for this piece. You don't have to watch it. You can just watch it because you're probably just as much of a media geek as I am. All right, here it is. It's a little bit more complicated, but in full disclosure, it may or may not work on your computer, and that has to do with the fact that you need video permissions. If I were to go here and to click into real-time effects, it doesn't give permission to my computer. So it depends on what kind of settings that you have for your own piece to make it work. You can see that I have the download here for the files in order to make that work for people for right now. But until I get that ironed out, I do have this solution. And so what I'm showing here is not that one yet, but if I allow permission, then this is the real-time FX color remover. And as you can see, as I'm scrolling through the different types of colors, that I can eventually remove them. And essentially what I'm doing is chroma keying or green screening. And I could replace this with images later for an improv show where I'm doing like a space background or an explosion that happens, whatever. And it seems pretty simple to use, simple video filter. Another one that I have is this one here, where it divides the 3 major colors for broadcasting. And then I have a red filter. And then finally, this weird alpha changer thing, so you can create like kind of a trippy kind of effect. So that is the 4th of our program installments. Okay, so this is the last program that I have that I worked on, and I call it real-time subtitles. Just like the program before, it does need permission to use a microphone, and if that doesn't work so well with your browser, I do have the ability to download that on my website as well. So I do have to give it permission right here. So as I give it permission, it's going to start typing down at the bottom here. I made it on purpose. I made it so it would be at the very bottom so that when you are projecting it on actors, you can put it at the bottom underneath the actors if you're doing a projection. So I allow it, and as I begin talking, it's going to start filling it in, and you can see here that it is filling it in and then pausing when I don't speak anymore. Then you have to give it permission again. One of the features that I use is that if I say a word like happy, well, let's try again. If I say a word like happy, then it does an emoji like that there. It's on purpose that it stops at the end of a pause because I want to do that for every actor as well when they are on stage. So I do have some things to iron out a bit. If I pause there, and then another actor can speak. But there are some timing issues that would need to get ironed out. What? Okay, that's it. I promise you, that is all of it. Go home. Go home. Goodbye.